Hi everybody, welcome to Grax's stream. My name is Grax Bishop and today I'm doing a test. I'm doing a test of this combination of my Panasonic HC-V250, which is quite an old camcorder, and my Elgato HD60. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see what kind of quality I can get with streaming through a HD camcorder through the Elgato capture card. And I was thinking about doing this for chatting purposes. So like talking to the camera, talking to you all, people in the chat, you can see what's going on right now and make some noise if you happen to be in the chat. And I wanted to share with you my setup so that's you can be inspired by what I'm doing. And if you happen to have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, or if there's upload on YouTube later on, ask in the comments down below. And what I'm going to do is do some quick tests to take a look at this. The quality looks high. It's recording at 50 frames per second from this camcorder, and the microphone is coming out loud and clear from here. I'm not picking up any audio from the camcorder there. And you might notice that there is these things going on, which in terms of the chat window here, the chat window here, and the social media links here. These are just images. These are just the graphics, which I've overlaid using OBS Studio, the latest version of OBS. So from this point, you can see that the quality is pretty good. I'm connecting straight via the HDMI connection from the Panasonic camcorder straight into the Elgato capture card. And I'm not recording on the camcorder. I'm not recording it. It's just a pure output, and I'm making sure that it's not set to lock its screen at some point. So what we're going to do now is switch cameras to this camera here, and I'll magically appear. That's just the nature of the switching of the camera. So what we got here is my Logitech C922 over on this side here, and that's connected via USB, and this Panasonic camcorder here, which is connected via the Elgato. Let's do a quick counting check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might notice that the webcam is a slower resolution because right now I believe I've got it set to 30 frames per second. That's my own fault. I didn't set it up properly. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each individual item. So let's just grab the camera here on the webcam so I can actually do like a around the scene shot. So this is the camera in question, the Panasonic HC-V250, and you can see there it is connected via the HDMI, which goes all the way out to cable tie, all the way to the HD60, except it's not directly connected to the HD60. One thing I noticed, and this is the point where I'm going to back up a little bit. One thing I noticed is that trying to connect the camcorder straight into the Elgato capture card doesn't seem to work, and I don't know why. And I don't know if it's because it's related to the HDCP problems with its copyright protection. I don't know if it's not out enough power. I don't know. I think it's a copyright issue because one thing I've done is I've fed the camcorder feed directly into this. This is a HDMI splitter. So it takes an input signal and outputs it out into two identical feeds. And one thing it's doing is it's being fed into the Elgato, and it's also being fed into the TV over there because, well, you know, why not? It's a good way to see a preview of myself. But that is a handy little tip. That's a handy little tip if you're having problems connecting to your HDMI connections, getting it to work for the Elgato. And also you might notice there's a power bank here. There's a power bank here because this power bank is connected to the camcorder. Which is interesting to know actually, because this could mean that if you connect the power bank to the camcorder, you can also connect the splitter to the camcorder power bank. You can have a truly mobile setup. So that's connected to the Elgato capture card. One of the feeds from the HDMI splitter is connected to the Elgato capture card, which is connected to my laptop over there. Now, the reason why my laptop is all the way over there is because it's very, very noisy. And I want to get the microphone as far away from the noisy laptop to try and reduce the amount of noise. Coming around to here, we have a cup of tea, not required for streaming. We've also got one of these things, USB keypad. And the reason why I got this USB keypad is one of the things that the OBS software can do is you can switch between different cameras using key buttons. And in this case, it's numlock key buttons, like all these here. And you can assign a particular scene to a keypad. So if I can do... His name is Grax. And so you can be switching around to all these different number pads, which are number of scenes. So we'll switch it back to here. It's a very, very useful tip to have. And I've got it externalized for a long cable. So it just means that I can change cameras without being so close to it. And one thing that's worth noting is the Blue Yeti microphone. The Blue Yeti microphone is what I use for the audio, which gets a nice crisp sound. I've also got this pop shield, which is a really cheap pop shield, which cost me about £5. And I used to have one of those pop shields, which is like a big crane over a big circular disc like that. But I noticed it was a bit cumbersome to try and position it in the right position all the time. I thought this would be a better option. So in theory, this should stop me doing all the popping sounds. So Peter Piper picked a pepper from the pepper bush. We'll see what the audio is like there. And I've also got a soft light box to illuminate my face as much as possible, because the more light you have, the better quality your images. So I'm going to switch the camera back. And now I'm just going to put this back over to here, like so. Let's just check on that, make sure it's all fine. Good, excellent. So that's the hardware setup I have. Oh yeah, I've also got my tablet, which is showing me the Twitch feed, in the chat right now. Right now I'm using a browser to take a look at the chat feed. I can't find a good dedicated chat app so I can see the chat and all the various different subscribers and information that comes through that. So I'm looking at the web browser through my tablet. If someone happens to have a good idea, a better idea for how to monitor the chat, then please do let me know in the comment section, either down below or in the chat over here. One thing that's worth noting is the sound. Right now the sound is very clear and it's in sync with the picture. One thing is, however, because the thing to remember about the Elgato capture card, if there is a bit of a delay between the feed going into the capture card from the camcorder into the computer. Might be because of the actual splitting of the HDMI feeds. So that means that you need to add a bit of a delay for the input for the microphone. And I'll show you that right now. So I'm going to switch cameras to the desktop. I have to do this manually because I haven't actually assigned a key for this. So if we switch to here, so you get to see all this fantastic stuff right here. You'll notice that all these different scenes, different individual levels. And there's one for the Blue Yeti microphone here. I've added this separately. I'm not going to go through the OBS Studios, how to set everything up. This should be an interesting snapshot of what you can set up if you've got some experience with OBS. If not, and you want me to make a video, let me know. A video instructing you how to set it up. But this is something that is very, very important. So if you go to this cog here, and if you go to advanced properties, you'll come up with these individual numbers here. So these are the different things, different settings. But the thing that's interesting for us right now in terms of the microphone is this delay. You'll notice it's got to a set to a 100. This is in milliseconds. This is the amount of delay you want between speaking in the microphone and it being recorded through the OBS software. And I can demonstrate changing this to 0. And now if we go back into the feed, you should notice that my audio is completely and utterly out of sync from the video. So let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clap, clap, clap. and now it should be completely out of sync, which is not what we want. So if you go to the cog where the audio feed is, then go to that, and then I think it was this one. Excuse me a second. That's the downside, having the thing all the way over here. Yep. Because what you want to do is set the delay to be about 1,000 milliseconds, or 1 second. So now we put that back in place, and we should do assess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Everything's all working as expected. Another thing is worth noting. Let's change. I can't change the camera for this. You also might need to add a bit of a delay in terms of getting 2 or more cameras synced up. So the webcam is working perfectly, but because of the Elgato capture card, you need to add a delay to the webcam. And to do that, you would find your source, for example here, and then go to Properties. No, sorry, it's not that one I wanted. There's one called Filters. There you go, Filters. And from here, you get to add all sorts of different filters, which includes color and other bits and pieces. But the one you're interested in should be one called Delay. Let's see. Yeah. Render a delay, like so. So then you'll give it a name. So from render delay, you give it a name, and then you would add the amount of a delay that you want. So in my particular case, it would be about a second. Trial and error, but this is what you do to add a bit of a delay. And you can also get rid of the delays as well. So we're not going to implement that. We're just going to close that. And all or zero. Alan, how you doing? I am kind of playing with OBS, but I just wanted to show everybody my setup in terms of having an HD camera connected to my Elgato capture card and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just me testing to see if I can get this camcorder working, which is all good. And I'm going to switch it back to here. Also, one thing is noting is I've just clicked on the keypad and it hasn't worked. Best to keep a focus on that before you switch cameras. And that, I believe, is everything that I need to know and everyone else needs to know in terms of getting a HD camcorder connecting to the Elgato capture card. And thank you, that's very kind of you to say. It does look pretty good. It's not the best. It's not the best quality because it's an old camcorder. But at 50 frames per second, it's nice enough. Could you get multiple camcorders connected or DSLRs? Maybe you can connect more than one capture devices on the go. So like for example, I've got the HD60 connected. If I can get one of those Elgato they're kind of like USB sticks which have like a direct HDMI feed. I forget what they're called, but they just plug straight in and it should just work. And I believe that's how you could get multiple HD cameras going on the go. But really, like the Logitech C920 series combined with like a HD camera would be more than enough, I think, in terms of quality. So anything else in my notes I needed to talk about? Oh yeah, just want to give thanks to Zeefles, Zeefles. He was the YouTuber I picked up the microphone delay to get that up and running. And yeah, you should check out his channel. I'll put in the link down below. And I believe that's everything that one needs to know to get a HD setup with a camcorder. And this kind of setup would be great if you wanted to do, for example, if you wanted to do a just chatting channel and you want the best quality possible, and if you're not interested in playing games, or if you wanted to do an ASMR feed, which there seems to be all the rage nowadays, I'm not going to do that here. Although I do wonder if this Yeti microphone, if it's on the right setting, would be enough for a ASMR session. Maybe for another time. But I think that will do for today's video, and I hope this enlightens you. And I hope this video actually helps you out in trying to answer some of your questions, ranging from how do I connect my camcorder to my Elgato, why is it not working, Do I need a delay? And so on and so forth. Thank you very much for watching. If any of this was any help at all, then I would appreciate a follow if you're on Twitch. Twitch.tv/GraxBishop. I have a heart up there, so if you click on the follow, I would appreciate it. If you happen to be on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/GraxBishop, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from me. And you can always follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter, or GraxBishop. I'm very easy to find. And with that being said, thank you very much for your support. And I will be doing another stream in the future, whether it be an instructional video or playing a game. Make sure you follow me to find out what I do next. Until then, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.